by a resolution of the Municipal Council adopted on June 17, 2025, setting forth the schedule of meetings for the year 2025-2026. Said notice was published and posted on the City Hall Bulletin Board by the Office of the City Clerk. Please be further advised this meeting will be conducted in person. The Zoom stream provided is for viewing only and is offered to the public as a convenience. On December 17, 2025, public notice and instructions for this meeting were published in the Herald News and posted on the City of Passaic website at www.cityofpassaic.com, Council Agendas. Instructions are also available on the last page of this agenda. Please be guided accordingly.
Roll call, please, ma'am.
Councilman Love?
Present.
Councilwoman Mello?
Present.
Councilman Mayer?
Present.
Councilman Garcia?
Councilman Garcia, I believe, will be joining us by
Zoom. Councilwoman Colon Montañez?
Present.
And Council President Scher.
President. Should we all please rise?
Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, to meet this evening. Father God, we ask you to please guide us with the agenda that has been presented before us. In your beloved name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have been asked by the administration to redesignate item number 36 as stated on the cover sheet. Are there any questions? Are there any questions on the revision requested? Seeing none, we'll accept that for tonight's agenda. We are up to hearing of citizens. It is just us.
I think you could make a motion to close.
I have to do it.
Second.
In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and JSA 10:4-1 at SEC, the council opens every public meeting for comments of the public. However, in accordance with NJSA 10:4-12, nothing in this act shall be construed to limit the discretion of a public body to permit, prohibit, or regulate the active participation in any meeting. Therefore, please be advised that the council will not entertain any comments from persons who communicate obscene material, make statements which are considered bias, intimidation, in which a person intends to intimidate any individual or group because of race, color, religion, gender, handicap, sexual orientation, or ethnicity, or makes comments intending to harass or speak any offensive language. The person who makes these statements will relinquish their allotted 5 minutes for public discussion. If you'd like to address the council, we invite your comments. We ask that you please share with us your name and your name.
Seeing no hands, we move to close the public portion.
Second.
Motion and second. Let's just scout around and make sure there's okay. We have a motion, we have a second to the councilman.
Councilman Love?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello?
Yes.
Councilman Mayer?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Councilman Garcia, are you with us?
Councilwoman Colon Montañez?
Yes.
And Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. We are up to Roman numeral 5 on our agenda, ordinance for second and final reading. Hearing is required. Number 1, proposed ordinance number 25-05-25, ordinance amending the designation of restricted parking for disabled persons by New Jersey license plate number. Is there a motion, please, to?
Motion to open.
Is there a motion to open?
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Love?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello?
Yes.
Councilman Mayer?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez?
Yes.
And Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. We already asked if there's anyone who would like to speak. No one here. Do we close now? Is there a motion to close public hearing?
Yes.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello?
Yes.
Councilman Mayer?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez?
Yes.
And Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. On the ordinance, is there a maker, please?
So move.
Second.
Motion and second. Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Love?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello?
Yes.
Councilman Mayer?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez?
Yes.
And Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. Number 2, please. Proposed ordinance number 25-07-25. Ordinance amending chapter 317-30B sub 8 affordable housing mandatory set aside. Is there a motion, please, to open public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to open. Roll call.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
yes,
Councilman Colon Montañez.
Yes.
And Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. Number one, are there any questions? Anyone to address the council? Seeing none. Ricky, can you help us with what we're looking at?
Yeah, so what happens when you have a 20% density bonus, sometimes you get a fraction of the unit. What this does is clarify that it has to be, the fraction has to be greater than half a unit, so that
Come back to me for a moment. What does that mean, a fraction?
so when you do a calculation for a unit, since it's based on density per
okay.
acre, sometimes you'll get 1.7 units of affordable housing. So this would indicate that if it was 1.7, it would be 2 affordable units, and if it was 1.5 or below, it would be 1 affordable unit. So you want to always try to get the additional affordable unit whenever you can. So this would clarify that it has to be, if any of the calculations result in a fraction that is greater than 0.5, you round up for the additional unit. You have to give us the additional unit. You can have the additional affordable unit.
Any questions for the BA? Any comments on the ordinance? If not, or is there a motion to accept the ordinance?
This is to close public portion.
Close. Is there a motion to close public
Second.
discussion on the ordinance?
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
yes,
Councilman Colon Montañez.
Yes.
And Council President Scheer.
Thank you. On the ordinance, please. Is there a motion?
So move it.
Motion
Second.
and second. Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
yes,
Councilman Colon Montañez.
Yes.
And Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. We're up to communications, Roman numeral 6 on our agenda, items 3 through 12. Are there any questions on items 3 through 12? Seeing none, is there a motion, please, to accept 3 through 12?
So move it.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
yes,
Councilman Colon Montañez.
Yes.
And Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. On number 15, Zoning Board of Adjustment, you all received notice on this, I believe. For next meeting, if we can have nominations, I know that Monk is losing someone, so he would probably be up there, and Love is losing someone, so he would probably be up there if you two gentlemen can come up with your names for the next go-around.
Okay.
Questions on 13 through 21? Councilman Mayor.
16. It's the rent reveling board.
Yes, sir.
Is there any feeling how this is going? Are they seeing a lot of cases? Are they inundated by their backlog? How are the complaints going?
They're seeing a lot of cases, but they're handling them very well. So it's functioning. It's functioning the way that the council discussed that it was intended to function.
How exhaustive are the members?
I haven't heard a single complaint from any of the members, so they've been functioning. I mean, so what happens is a lot of times you may see a lot of cases, but they're all from the same address dealing with the same situation, right? So they may have 10 cases, but 10 of them could be for apartments 1 through 10. So once they resolve the general idea of it, it's just a matter of just adjudicating each one with the findings from the previous.
Okay.
And the majority of these cases are being judged or being decided pro tenant, pro landlord. I'd like it to be both, but
It's been both. So I think one of the first ones, there was a tenant with documentation that was not, what's the best way to put it? It could not, the validity of the documents could not be verified by the way the dates and signatures looked. So the landlord won because they couldn't prove that that's what it is. And then on many other
Could
occasions,
you be, I'm sorry,
it looks like they falsified some of the records.
would those records be related to
I'm
his,
so sorry.
no, please, would it be related to his status in the United States?
No.
or- Okay.
No. This is specifically with documentation as far as the lease documentation.
How about in terms of someone who rents an apartment? The landlord, wants to charge him a 5% increase, which is
Over the 3.
over the 3. Person does not have all of his proper legal documents in terms of citizenship. Does that in
That
any
does
way?
not play a role in.
I can't say he's a terrible tenant and he,
No, we don't look at that at all. We look at the validity of the increase of the rental increase according to our ordinance. That's it. So there has to be documents provided by both sides regarding, the rent agreement, payments of that rent, and what the initial rent was versus what the proposed rents are.
There were some exceptions to this ordinance with their rent control increase.
Yes.
I believe there's some state statutes that require the exemption to be in the original lease, even though the law was passed.
But that's
later
not
on.
how we did our ordinance. So because of the situation where the city of Passaic hadn't had a rent control ordinance since '99, it's unfair to property owners that had a property that was younger than 30 years, let's say, because that's what the state statute says. So in our ordinance, and this council agreed and passed it, those that fell under, let's call it the gap years, can send a letter to all of their current tenants, and then in their upcoming lease renewals, put it in all their leases. So that's how the city of Passaic work because of that gap. Right, it would be unfair to. It was again. I mean, I know there was some struggle and there's pros and cons to everything, but as the mayor discussed ad nauseam, we tried to make it as balanced as possible with the situation we had at hand.
Look, I'm looking at the state statute. It's called the Notice of Exemption to Tenants, and it states like in the original lease, it would need to be there. So I'm just.
Yeah, so our ordinance it's our ordinance. We enforce it based on our regulation that we put in for our rent control ordinance.
And the state law wouldn't supersede that as far as the original?
Not in our case. Not in our case. No, because remember, we could do away with it.
Then I have an ordinance, period. It's not a mandatory ordinance.
I don't think I'm being clear. We created the 3% rent control increase. The state statute, as I read it, requires the original lease, not the renewal, to stipulate, make known that there is this exemption in the lease. The renewal lease is viewed typically different than the original lease. So if a landlord was to have an exemption based on the new ordinance, the state law requirement, I believe, from the way I read the ordinance at the state level, would require the initial lease, not the renewal, to have that exemption listed in it.
Not in our case, right? So the state law also defers to the municipal local rent stabilization ordinance. So in our case, the way we wrote it, our ordinance is effective.
Okay.
Trust me, we've had multiple attorneys look at multiple attorneys before we got to this level. So yeah, the municipal law is the original jurisdiction for the rent control ordinance.
Final question on this one. Have you seen a increase in tax appeals or any such?
No.
Since this ordinance
have
is
not.
passed?
We have not. No. So I think when that happens, it will be way down the road, and it'll probably be more for when a landlord did not keep up with the rent increases, right? So we have up to 3%. Some landlords haven't raised their rent in 20 years.
We're looking at some of these numbers in here. It went from 473 to 1,500. I mean, if rent to 473, I don't care what you're giving them, is pretty low.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but that's on the property owner, but that's why in our code, we have hardship exemptions for repairs and things, for taxes. There's exemptions that you can, hardships that you can apply to the rent leveling board to raise it beyond the 3%. So, I mean, there are different ways to balance those rent control requests, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah, but think about it. If they're at $476, when did they rent it for $476? Which means you haven't increased that rent
Since 1981.
since you bought the apartment.
1980.
And it's, you know, it's not funny, but there are landlords that haven't raised the rent, you know, and I can tell you, typically, and not all the time, I don't want to talk, even though I'm going to talk a little bit in generalities, those are your more dilapidated buildings. Those are your buildings with bigger problems. Typically, that's where when in my prior life as a housing inspector, that's when we would find the lower. And then it works out. Typically, it works out because the tenant isn't complaining because they got $476 rent, and the landlord isn't complaining because they're not fixing a thing in the property, and the tenants tend to fix it, right? Until the market obviously blows up because you know, $500 for a 2-bedroom in Passaic was in the 80s, not 2000s, right?
Any other questions, please, on 13 through 21? That being the case, is there a motion, please, to accept 13 through 21?
Move it.
Second.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
yes,
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. We're up to resolutions. Number 22 is a resolution authorizing closed executive session. Susie, any reason for closed executive? Thank you, ma'am. Ricky?
No, sir.
Members of the council? Very good. On items 23 through 35. Councilman Mayor, please.
24, just a brief overview of which areas are getting this, it looks like grant money for the local aid and roadway improvements.
You just want like the roads?
Yeah. I mean,
Hold on, I'll tell you right now. For some reason, that page isn't on here for me.
The reason why I ask is because there was a number of people that came to this council since I've joined that had complaints about their specific roads. Wondering if any of them made it to the list.
So what happens, I've gone digital, and the one page that I saw in hand with the with the information isn't on my thing. Do you have it? Yeah. No, it was. No, it actually had the names above it. I can get you the streets. So it's actually a number of streets. So you got the base bid, and then you have 3 alternates. So it's 3 different roadways. And I apologize, the document isn't on here. But in either case, it was over budget, so we're rejecting it so that we can go out to bid and maybe get the alternates done. So when you do get the resolution back here that we're actually awarding, I'll have that sheet, that tally sheet with the streets with it. So I apologize for that.
There was a gentleman, I believe it was High Street, he came up here 2-3 meetings ago. Just wondering if he made it to it. So
Well, so what's the street you look for? High?
gentleman came, he was complaining about, I believe it was High between, it's a long stretch, but I think it was High closer to the park that's under construction. I guess that would be Tennyson in that area.
Give me 1 second. I think So the it's two roads, and it's Brighton Avenue and 8th Street. That's what this one is for. But I could tell, once I get the listing of the roadways in the order that we put in for them, I will let you know.
Thank you.
All right, so this one is 8th Street and Brighton.
Other questions?
Yeah, I just have one.
Councilman.
On 23, this is by no means the question.
The position is not compensated, if that's your.
No, just, thank you, that's one. But also,
Wait, let me think if I can.
I'll be honest with you, that really wasn't the concern. It's just a concern. She does so well in the position that she's in. And how can that affect what she does? Will it affect?
I don't understand.
The position that she's in as the director, will this position that she's being appointed to affect her ability to perform as she has always done?
Oh, no, absolutely not. In fact, it's almost like innate in her current duties to verify, the compliance.
Okay.
So it's almost like
All right, I just want to make sure, because that's.
And I mean, we're talking about, this is over a decade old. Like, she's been doing it great for over a decade.
How long has she been?
Oh, she's been doing this since the law said we needed one. So it's got to be
awesome.
at least like over 10 years.
Okay, good. Yeah, she's been doing the other job so well as well. All right.
So
Councilman?
25 is about 8th Street. I don't know if 24 and 25 are the same, but 25 is the one about 8th Street. And Brighton would be 26.
Oh, you're right. You're right. So the over budget could be. I think there might be a problem in the way they wrote this. Because I have South Street to Lodi Street, and I have Van Houten to the dead end of Van Houten, and they're full depth of reconstruction. So let me, now that Weatherly was kind enough to give me the paperwork. Right, so local freight has to be 8th Street
Understood.
because of the requirements of that one. Yeah, the other one is Brighton Avenue. So then that means that the 2025 local aid is South Street to Lodi Street, Van Houten to the dead end.
South Street's pretty bad.
Yeah. Just double check.
Are we good on this? We're still,
Yeah.
Okay. So the one that's being, I just got an email, a text from the engineer. The bid that's being rejected is Boulevard, Hillside Way, and Howe Avenue. No, not all of Boulevard. Not the whole thing. Yeah. I just wrote on it. It was there are parts of Boulevard by Howe Avenue, actually. Parts of Boulevard by Howe Avenue that are
For the hospital.
by the hospital that are really bad.
Yeah. Craters.
Yeah. Yeah, so that, I'm sorry, that's the one that's being rejected.
Thank you.
I know there's a tremendous amount of work that's going to be upcoming, but do you have any feel that you can share with us in terms of what our budget situation looks like? I just read an article where Clifton is $10 million short, something like that.
So I think it's clear that the budgets are extremely tight and difficult, and the mayor has made a commitment to the council and to the residents of the city about maintaining, under double-digit increases. So we are making significant changes to the budget, which you'll notice when we present the budget, to get us under that threshold. So I think the council will be familiar with the number. I can't give you an exact number right now, but you will be familiar with the number, to be on the higher end of the discussions, because there's no choice. I mean, you're looking at an $8 million deficit in health benefits alone. And we're still negotiating with the union membership to try to see if there can be any changes to that. So, I don't know what more I can say because it's negotiations, but I think, Susie, I can mention what the vote was, right? Like what it ended up being. Yeah, so every union voted it down except for the police, which we're still actively negotiating with them for their vote. And we've made a change to the proposal that next week we hope to present to the fire department, both fire department unions, and then move on to the rest of the city hall unions if we can get agreement from the police and fire unions. The reason I mention that is because obviously the cuts are different if there are some changes to the medical, because quite frankly, the almost the entire increase of our budget is due to medical benefits. Like you'll see it. I mean, where are you going to find $8 million from one? We would normally put roughly anywhere between 5 to 8% increases, and we're at 30, 35, 36% increases. There's no, and I'm talking about for the health benefits. So we're looking at roughly.
Just ate the fuck out.
That's roughly the difference between one year to another.
How's our surplus? Reserves.
Our surplus?
Reserves.
Yeah, our reserves are being used every day. Like
We're
going right now. The last budget used up, I think, 13 million plus of surplus, and we anticipate at least that much. But what happens is the tighter the budget, the less regeneration of surplus we have. So if one year we brought in $9 million and we cut everything, there's nowhere to go. So there's no regeneration for the usage of that. And all that means for the public is that I don't have enough to put back in the savings account, right? Because we all know reserve is the saving account. I need enough money from, what we bring in to put into the savings account. So the tighter the budget, the less regeneration of surplus.
So where are we holding though? I think it was we were using.
We're so, and these are why some of the things, and obviously I think we're getting a little deep into numbers that I can't give you with certainty because we're still working through them. But there's a multitude of things. Some of the good things. Let's talk about your tax implications with like appeals. You said we have a significant boost in added assessments, which means all the work that this administration, the mayor's put forward and the council's approved, has not deterred people from investing in the city of Passaic, adding additional tax rateables to the municipality. And I'm not just talking about the big developments. I'm talking about additions. These are added assessments. So it's anything that brings value to any of the properties. And what that does is it, in the way that the taxes are balanced, and let's say we present a 10% tax increase, right? Which I used a big number on purpose because that's not our number, right? You may only feel a 9% tax increase because of the added assessments, right? The way that, because the more added assessments you have, the greater the spread of the tax base is.
You're not making me feel better.
That's actually very good.
Well, if the
Added
assessments,
means
if the assessments end up on people that don't live in the city, frankly, that's great. But if it's to the homeowner, if it's to myself or a resident, other residents who are already,
So the-
they end up with
So
that
that's
type of increase on their home.
I can give you a good indication. The big developments from the bigger developers bring in the most added assessments. Yes, when you do an addition in your house, you get an added assessment, but it takes many of them to compare to like one added assessment of a brand new major development, right? So, and I know that if the mayor were here, he would be quick to tell everyone that he tried multiple times with the League of Municipalities to try to get some sort of tax moratorium for
Residential.
single, two-family
We're all
residences.
waiting. And it's a debate.
Right? But that hasn't happened as of yet, and I know we've submitted it at least on 2 or 3 different occasions. I know Assemblyman Scher has even signed onto the bill to do that, but it hasn't happened. So those are the tax implications. But basically, the whole moral of the story is the greater the added assessments, the less you feel on your tax bill generally, like throughout. So the person who gets the added assessments obviously going to get more assessment because they added value. But then the one that didn't, that's sitting there, right? And now you get a 10% tax increase. Their tax bill, even though our budget went up 10%, their tax bill is only going to show a 9% increase because that 1% was offset by that added assessment of that bigger building. I hope I'm explaining that correctly.
Yeah.
It's a little more complicated sometimes than. So that's good, but that isn't going to meet a $10 million, an $8 million budget gap for health benefits, right? Like that's not.
Number 2 in the state report, the second reason for increases in insurance claims is GLP-1 medications. No generics, brand names, and everybody wants them.
Yeah, that's the
was number
funny,
two
that's the
in the
funny
state
thing. There
report.
are doctors that feel exactly the way you say. No, my patient has to have this. And then what happens is we go through a whole process, at least in the city of Passaic, where they submit to the carrier comes to us, we have to look, they got to tell us why yes, why not, the doctors gives us letters. So it's not like we automatically say, yeah, give, right? If it's one of those like very expensive brands, there's like a trigger where it pumps the brakes, and then the insurance carrier for our prescription is like, wait, why not generic? And then but just the process requires the doctor to send additional information and why they can't use the generic drug and things of that nature. But you are correct. And then after that, you have your liability insurances, your workers' comp claims, which are for us as a city employer. Also, ridiculous. So you got $8 million from that, and about $1.2 million for the general liability insurances claims. So I'm almost at $10 million, and we haven't even opened up the books to do anything.
They expect this to plateau at some point?
I expect the state to eliminate the health benefits plan. I think. I can't see it. That was supposed to have happened already, right? Because I don't know if I know some the other council members were here when we had the discussion when they first went up to 24%. They were supposed to give us a reprieve, and when I say they, the state, right? But then so many other municipalities moved out of the state plan that there was no reprieve. So we got 24% that year, and then the following year when we were supposed to get. And for the council members, if you recall, we went into our health benefits trust account and took $2 million out of there because they were going to make it up for us the following year. And instead of making it up, they went up 6%. So now in 2 years, I'm at 30%. Well, this year is 35% with nothing else. Just so you see how it's compounding, right?
Yep.
And it's out of our control. Like, for us to be able to maintain, to bring that down to a reasonable level, right, there would be no services because the amount of people you'd have to remove any city. And again, just so we're clear, and it's clear for the public, this is not just for the city of Passaic. This is a crisis that is happening throughout the entire state of New Jersey, you know? So this is something that all municipalities, I mean, Council President opened up with our neighbor sister city, what their struggles are. And we've brought up other cities every year. We bring up other cities and where they're at, and they're in the double digits. And, you know, I know the mayor's direction was very clear. I hope you see it when we bring the budget and the budget presentation. It was, you know, we also can't, everybody's suffering, right? We keep talking about the price of eggs, right? We're all paying for the price of eggs. So not only did ours go up $6 million, but the percentage that all our employees paid went up as well. So now they're seeing less in their checks, right? So if that's happening to us, that's happening everywhere else. And now the residents also are struggling to pay. So it's, did that answer your, I know I probably went down a rabbit hole, but I was just answering questions as I was getting them. The best thing I say, we're in better shape than a lot of other towns, but we're not in great shape by any means because of that, right? So we are budgeting appropriately. We are good fiscal stewards of the taxpayer dollars. But who can, you know?
And you're exploring other means of revenue.
Well, I mean, that's a constant, right? But remember, there's only, the main source of income for a municipality is taxes. So the idea is, how do you offset that somewhere else when you get an $8 million unknown increase, you know, unanticipated, not unknown, but unanticipated increase. And then you shop around our health benefits. I could tell the council that every single year, every year, we put out the city of Passaic out to reduce health benefits costs. And this is the only year, because of those increases, that we have an opportunity to get out of the state plan. But because of contractual obligations, we can't just leave. So I'll give you perspective. I'll give you some of why. If we have, the majority of the employees here have a direct 10 plan, right? Okay. To grab that same direct 10 plan and put it to an Aetna plan outside of the health benefits plan, it's $6.8 million versus $8 million. Right? So it's not like we're not saving money, we're just transfer less. So I still got to find $6.8 million, even if we go to give you the same exact plan. But then you would say, but Rick, that's $2 million, right? Like, right away, why would you do that? Because it's very simple. Because that's the cost, but we become self-insured. So we need to fund our full exposure for that year. And when we did that math, it went to $9 million, which is $1 million more than just staying in the same plan. Right? So.
And that's for just the initial year?
That's for the initial year. And then what happens, you're self-insured. So what happens is your claims history is reviewed on every single year. And depending on your claims history, depends on how much you're going to go up the following year. See?
It's like car insurance.
It's like car. Yes, it is. Yeah. The higher your claims, the higher you cost. And what's happening now in the state health benefits plan, if you keep that same train of thought, our claims aren't atrocious. They're not great, but they're not atrocious. But now we're with the majority of individuals that can't go out of the plan. So now we're with higher claims. So in a time where economies of scale were great because it reduced everybody's claims, right? Because the one town that had low claims this year offset the town that had high claims next year. Now everybody who could get out, got out, and now you have all the high claims left.
All together, and they got to offset that.
Right. Besides the fact that the municipal, because the state health benefits plan is broken up into two sections, the state and the municipal. Mm-hmm. And the state lent $200 million to the municipal side of the state health benefits plan. right? That has to be paid back.
Councilwoman Miller, please.
Well, he was just touching on that. I was about to ask, have you explored becoming self-insured? Because as we know, that's staying with the state. It's really, but you just explained that, yes, there may be savings, but that saving in the long term, we will have to, especially because it'll be our first year, you have to kind of fund that bucket.
You have to fund it completely. And that's why it was, right? So the only way that it works is by changing the plan, which
A lot of people at
requires,
this point were,
which requires approval from all the units. Did I?
yes, it's okay.
Councilman Love.
Yeah, just, Mr. Fernandez, you touched on it in terms of the reevaluation and assessment of properties. But my question was a little more direct. Over the years, we've launched several pilot programs.
Mhm.
Do we have a projection of when we're going to start getting larger, how do you say it, revenue from some of those plans? Or do we have any on the table that may help with this year's budget?
So we're getting in now. So to answer your question, we're getting in now. That's all part of that added assessment that we're talking about and additional income off of taxes. So we're getting in now. Typically, the way that we negotiate our pilots here is we never go below what we're currently getting. So the city of Passaic, the way all the ones that you voted on before, we kind of, the starting point is what we're getting now. So we're never getting less than what we got previously. And then it only goes up from there. Typically, the first handful of years is the buildup of the property. Then the middle years, it's kind of like a split the baby kind of thing. And then in the latter years, we actually lose money when the pilot ends.
Okay. Because it kind of levels off.
Yeah, and then it becomes, because the way our tax bill breaks down is school, county, and municipal. And because a large portion of the state, of the Board of Ed budget is paid by the state, the municipal budget portion is over 60% of the tax bill. So what happens is in a pilot, without the pilot, we're getting 60%. With the pilot, we're getting 95%. So when you negotiate, you start leveling off, we're now getting 95% of that money. So whenever you see the 60% marker, now you know we're breaking even and then going
On the
up
other
from
way.
there. So that's why typically towards the end, we try to put in a lot of 80 to 90% of taxes otherwise due, because that means we will be getting 20 to 30% more in those last, let's say, 8 to 10 years than we would if we didn't have the pilot. So hence at the end of the pilot, we would be making less, right? See what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Other questions on what things look like in the near future? Seeing none, items 23 through 35. Are there any questions, please? Seeing none at this time, is there a motion, please, to accept 23 through 35?
So move.
Second.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
yes,
Councilman Colon Montañez, and Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. Up to Roman numeral 8 on our agenda, ordinances for introduction and first reading. Number 36, ordinance amending the designation of restricted parking for disabled persons by New Jersey license plate number. Second and final reading to be February 3rd?
Yes, correct.
February 3rd. Is there a motion, please, to accept for set down?
So move.
Motion?
Second.
And second. Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
yes,
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. Payment of bills. Are there any questions on the bills? Seeing no lights, is there a motion, please, to accept the bills as presented by the clerk?
Move it.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
January 20th.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Sher.
Yes, thank you. The mayor is unfortunately not with us tonight, but he's been doing such incredibly good things. We'll forget. Are there any other issues tonight? We're going to try to arrange a discussion period during each of our meetings with an update on the budget. It is going to be difficult, as the business administrator intimated very clearly. And all of us are going to be questioned, I know, by our friends and neighbors, and that is, how could you do this to me? And at least we want you to be educated to have those responses. We've always worked together as a council. I shouldn't say always, but we've traditionally worked together as a council, at least in the past 20, 30 years, to our credit. And we've always taken the belief that we stand together. Together we can get things done. That being the case, there are no
Council President,
Yes.
just real fast, will you be assigned an ad hoc committee for it?
on the
Budget?
yes.
Okay.
And if I may, just before we close, just last night, just want to congratulate, make it public, our Commissioner Christina Schratz was sworn in at the county. So it's a historical date for Passaic. Wish her lots of luck because Passaic has representation up in the county. So that took place yesterday. So congratulations, and just wanted to share that.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
We are the first woman from the city of Passaic,
Yes,
not to mention the first Americana.
yes,
We are all very proud.
very proud, very proud.
Is there a motion, please, to adjourn?
So move.
Motion
Second.
and second roll call to adjourn.
Councilman Love,
Yes.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Sher.
Yes, this meeting is adjourned.